Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap in. The show starts right now.
Come on, Stan, bitches. This is the Lineman Lounge. I am Mike. The man to my right is Evo, and we are back late night on a Saturday. We had a busy day. Evo had some golf. I played some golf. I'm pretty sure your round went better than mine. We played like dog shit, and it was cold as fuck.
But it wasn't that great for me. We played Pueblo del Sol here in town, which I'm just not a fan of in general. And I didn't keep my score after the first 9 holes. I was doing really good, and then I marked a 10 down, and I was like, my day's probably done.
Yeah,
I just don't want to count that anymore. So then the back 9 just kind of fucked around. So that was all right, but yeah, it was a tough one. Hey, 20, what's up, Dave? Our boy, $20 is $20. Dave Weideman. See him over on his Twitch stream. $20 is $20. Always there, daily streaming the games.
Yeah, love you, big dog, and keep crushing it over there on Twitch. He is badass at the Call of Duty. I am envious because I suck so bad at Call of Duty. I don't even know how to describe it. But yeah, love you, 20. Thanks for hopping in. Always appreciate you being here. Well, we're going to try to do this fairly quick. I have hardly eaten nothing today. I had a couple of drinks, but not very much. I still had to drive and go to Graydon's football game, which they did win. So we will cover some U Sports real quick. He just got done with playoff game number 1. They beat the Willoughby team 20-6. Willoughby played them pretty well. Our defense was just really, really good. The 6 points that Willoughby was able to get on Menor did not come from offense. They were able to score via defense. Fumble from the quarterback picked up for 6. But, yeah, great team win for the boys. The boys were buzzing on defense, and it was great to see. It looks like they are still waiting to find out who they're going to play next weekend. But they are definitely moving on to the next round. Pumped for that. So, congratulations to those boys from the Menor Silver team. So.
Very nice. All right. Well, youth sports, obviously you got that going on, but
yep, I do. You got any youth sports?
Wearing that? No, nothing out here, not yet. But I'm gonna say you got that Guardians cap on. You feeling pretty good right now about?
I feel so
baseball?
fucking good about the Guardians, bro. Like we were there yesterday, myself and producer Amber, and it was fucking awesome. The atmosphere was insane. When Jose hit that home run, I was over in the left field home run porch trying to get beers, and saw it get hit, goes out to right field, and everybody's losing their fucking minds. A bunch of people I do not know at all. We're all high-fiving, hugging, like, let's fucking go. And then the boys come out today, pitch just excellent fucking game. It goes to 15 innings, and they are able to finally get a walk-off home run. Young kid, I think he's not even 23 yet, and Gonzalez comes up, hits that walk-off fucking dinger. We're moving on to the next round. Give me the fucking Yankees. I am ready to take down the fucking bullies that they think they are, and they are not.
You're feeling pretty cock-strong right now about your Guardians.
I do. I feel very good. I feel very, very good, man. Yesterday was a great day. Like, I had such a good time. It was a great atmosphere. Ran into Gab Gowdy, friend of the show. Able to get a drink with Gab. We went and played a little. Amber played some slots. I played some craps at the Jack Casino downtown. Made like $900 doing that. So paid for the tickets. And made some money. Had a couple of drinks. It was a great time. I am so fucking cold still though from today that's really all I can think about. I'm about to pull the heating pad over here and put it on my back because the back is starting to tighten up really bad right now. I got some CBD lotion on there. Got some other.
That's what it is.
Oh, I got some other herbal remedies going on inside my body as well, but those I don't believe have kicked in yet. But that heating pad might definitely come in handy so my back doesn't cramp up mid-show. I'm also going to need some fucking water that I just got before the show started and completely forgot to bring in here.
I hear it. Hey, for what it's worth, I know you're freezing your ass off out there. It's gorgeous out here in Arizona right now. I mean, other than we've just been getting tons of rain, it's like low 70s. Right? Yeah, like low 70s, high 60s and stuff like that. Real nice. It made golf very comfortable today. Other than the fact that, I fucking played like shit.
Yeah.
But
we were fucking terrible. I saw Carlton popped in with a comment there. I don't know if we put that up yet. So played with Carlton today. Played some golf with him. I thought I was going to bring him in as the ringer. He was terrible today. I was terrible today. Everybody fucking sucked at golf. Like the course was so wet. Nothing was flying. Like I hit some decent drives. A couple other people hit decent drives. There were no distance on any of our shots though. And when balls were hitting the ground, that shit was sticking. Like there was no fucking roll.
Yeah, I had a couple. They were over watering the course today. Not to mention we had just been getting shitloads of water, so it was cart path only, which makes golfing fucking suck that much more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had several balls that I never found that were in the fairway. They just bedded down and underneath the grass. So yeah, but is what it is. So either way, congratulations to your Guardians. I think you guys will have a pretty difficult series coming up here, but
it's going to be tougher than the Rays, I think.
If you guys are able to take on them Yanks and beat them, you might have something cooking.
Hey, listen, we pitch way better than the Yankees do. We don't hit bombs like the Yankees do, but you know what? It's October. It's cold. Nobody's going to hit a lot of bombs in October. So I will take our pitching against theirs any day.
Fair enough. All right. Are there any other sports that you want to go over before we kick straight into the football?
So we got baseball. I'm very excited. Ohio State's beat the fuck out of Michigan State. My boy, Sweet, I love you. But we all knew that was going to happen. They had no chance. I think they were going to come down for the game, but I don't know if they did or not. I don't know if you different Sweet than you know.
Okay.
Different sweet than
you got different sweetie pies around your family.
I got sweets all over, baby. I got sweets all over. However, I got one out there who is in charge of my entire life. But if she could possibly bring that water in here, if she's listening, because I am so thirsty.
I'm about to send her a text message.
Yeah.
But all right.
I'm good, man. Let's roll into fucking NFL because I need to get some sleep as well. I got to work the Browns game tomorrow.
Ooh. All right. Well, we're going to go over some quick news pointers here real quick because they are pretty important here for the NFL. Before we get into our games and predictions and going over the Thursday night game. All right. First of all, Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson had a procedure done of some sort in LA on his shoulder, his throwing shoulder. It turns out that he has a partially torn lat. So that'll be interesting to see what goes on going forward there. I believe they got the young Ripien in there, a nephew of Brett Ripien or the Ripien that, won a couple Super Bowls. Or played a couple Super Bowls. I don't remember which. Either way, he's not that good from what I saw in the preseason.
Brett Ripien.
But you have Russell Wilson now with a partially torn lat, and I believe that is on his throwing shoulder. That's going to be a bit of an issue. At least he got this procedure done in LA recently, and it is a long week for them because they had the Thursday night game, so they'll get a little bit more rest. And then in addition to that, the NFL and the NFL Players Association have agreed to amend the concussion protocol as of this weekend.
I saw that pop up.
A big push.
That needed to happen. I think there was no two ways around. Something needed to be changed with what the fuck was going on with the concussion protocols and things like that, and the handling of it by the NFL and the NFLPA.
I mean, we knew this was coming regardless of if their procedures were good or not. It's just the optics on it right now required some sort of an action. So it's basically the statement was put out, concluded that with the Miami Dolphins, the step-by-step protocol was followed. The outcome was not what they wanted. It pushed them to revise the protocols. We don't know exactly what the differences are in those protocols yet, from what I can tell, or the little bit that I've seen. But that's obviously going to be pushed into team facilities with team doctors here starting this weekend. So we might start, I guarantee if you watch a football game tomorrow, you are going to hear about this. They're going to go over it on the broadcast. They're going to start to break down exactly what is different, or if there's anything that will be different or visibly different to the fan base. Either way, it's good for player health, good for player safety. That will be going into effect immediately.
Yeah, I think it's great. Now the Russell Wilson news, it's not surprising, but it is. Like, we knew Russ was playing really fucking bad football. Like, damn near everybody could see it. And if you heard after the game, if you stuck around to make it through fucking overtime, Tony Gonzalez was saying, like, something. It looks like there was something wrong with Russ. Like,
it looks like something has been wrong with Russ since fucking week 1.
Yeah, so I agree that it looks like there's been something wrong with Russ since week 1, but I mean,
the
maybe
shoulder
he's
thing
been
is
dealing with this for a
relatively
while.
new. I think this shoulder thing is from the game, but I'm just saying, look, Russ is cooked.
Yeah, Russ looks bad, dude. Russ looks so bad.
But we'll get a little bit more into that game here shortly. But yeah, it's going to be kind of a big deal for the Broncos, who are reeling right now, as it is, because the team that a lot of people had expected to be a playoff contender, make a deep run there in the AFC possibly, they have not looked good so far this year. But, it didn't stop Russ from, at their post-game press conference, from saying, Broncos country, let's ride to the loss.
No, Russ has got to stop with that, man.
The
let's ride thing, like, it was funny to make fun of Russ, because Russ is corny as fuck, right? Like,
yeah,
it's fun. Like, at this point, I almost feel bad for doing the let's ride, because, like, nobody
needs to be checked for a concussion.
Nobody is riding if they're Broncos fans. Every Broncos fan that I know is like, fuck Russ. We're not riding with Russ for shit anymore. Like, they're ready to throw Russ's ass away.
Yep. All right, but I mean, we can just go ahead and jump straight into that Thursday night game. It was Colts versus Broncos on Thursday, being played in Denver, so behind a home crowd. This game went down to the wire, and it was one of the worst football games I think that I've actually watched as far as professional football.
It was atrocious.
It was extremely boring, bad play from both sides. The Colts started to pick it up late in the fourth quarter, and it ended up going to overtime with a score of 9-9. And yeah, the fans were leaving. The fans at the end of regulation were like, fuck this shit, I got work tomorrow.
Yeah,
getting up out of their seats and going. And rightfully so, because I mean, I don't get me wrong, if I'm going to a professional football game, I'm staying for the whole thing, even if it's a loss. But they were just playing so bad, you kind of felt where this was going. Ended up, Colts got a field goal, got that 12-9 win, and
I can't believe
both teams looked terrible.
I cannot fucking believe that they threw the ball in that situation. We've seen that script before, right? We were gonna put the ball in Russ's hands.
Richard Sherman went off.
Dude, he went in. I was surprised that he was that. I was surprised that he was that vocal about it.
What was more surprising? It was surprising to me that they didn't run the ball, but I kind of liked the ballsiness that they had. The real thing is that, on replays of that, KJ Hamler is wide open.
Oh, dude.
could have walked in.
That's the exact same fucking pick play that they ran. They got picked. Maybe Russ has trauma, man. I don't know, but he missed a wide open KJ Hamler, who was visibly upset and honestly, rightfully fucking so. And it was just a bad, like everything about what happened at the end of the game there was bad by the Broncos. It's more bad decision making by the Broncos at the end of the games. I don't fucking understand how it continues to happen every week.
Yeah. And for the Colts, I mean, congratulations on a win. You guys, like I said, it looked like you had a little bit more momentum going in there late in the fourth. Like things were starting to click a little bit better. But I mean,
that
like
offensive
I said,
line,
I felt like the
fucking
Colts
Indianapolis Colts sucks. They fucking stink out loud, dude. The only guy that can block is Nelson.
Yeah. And I thought that they like their record continues to surprise me. They're 2-2-1. I like after that tie, it would surprise me. They got a win against the Chiefs, which is absolutely surprising. And then this game just doesn't feel like they got the W. Doesn't feel like a win. It felt like both teams walked away from this game with a loss because they both played like absolute shit. And as a member of the fan base for either of those teams, I would be struggling right now. I would be very pissed.
If I'm a Colts fan, I've seen some things that make me a little excited. Yeah, I see it. The old girl is fed up. She is done with the fucking Broncos and Hackett, I am sure. If I'm a Colts fan, I see some things that are kind of inspiring. Outside of Michael Pittman going into the year, we thought we had nobody who could catch the fucking ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Paris Campbell, when healthy, looks like he can be a contributor on that offense.
Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce is another guy that I think can contribute on that offense.
They
got to figure out a fucking offensive line, but
Pierce was a very low odds rookie of the year candidate at the beginning of the year. So I kind of paid attention to him a little bit more through those first couple games, and he looked like he was good, but he was having drops. And I was like, if you're having these drops and you're not getting it fixed, it's obviously going to be a pretty significant issue. But he obviously got things together in this last game. 8 catches, 81 yards, a real good stat line for him, and hopefully something that he can continue forward with in the future. Because that's been one of the biggest detriments to that team. Like we weren't expecting the offensive line play to be this bad. But my thing with the Colts all along has been you don't have wide receiver depth to throw to for Matt Ryan. Which he looks a little bit ate up too, dude. I really expected.
Yeah, his arm does not look great.
I expected Matt Ryan to have a average like 70% of what Matt Ryan can do type of year, and he looks like he is definitely towards the back end of his career now. Yeah. And it's the same for Russ. I expected a little bit less with Russ, but then also like with the situation he was going into, I thought, oh, this could be one of those situations like the Broncos get Peyton Manning, and now they can make a run with a average quarterback who has such great experience that he can really lead this team.
Exactly.
But in my opinion, the Broncos, and I keep telling this to Hannah because we watch every single one of these games. I was like, you have a good team. Yeah. And it feels like it's being wasted. And I truly feel like it is a coaching issue. And you put all of your gambling in the one pot of Russell Wilson. And it was a bad gamble.
Yeah.
It sounded like a good one, but I guess when the whole Aaron Rodgers thing fell through, you got to go for someone else veteran that can replace a Drew Lock real quick.
I get going for him. Now, if they go and they make this deal and they have Russell for 2 years, they're probably upset, right? But I think people are more upset because of how much money he re-signed for in that extension.
He didn't need to do the
astronomical. Yeah, didn't need the extension. And we just signed him to an astronomical number. So that is even worse. Like, we have been spoiled as football fans of our age, in your late 20s, early 30s, even up to your like late 30s, right? We have watched quarterbacks in this league who have played for an extremely long time. It has become the standard, the normal thing, right? That everybody's playing 20 fucking years now, basically. Everybody ain't built like that, okay? We don't see Tom Brady's all the time. We're not going to see Ben Roethlisberger. These guys that stick around for, fucking 15 to 20 years, that doesn't always happen that way. Like, 12 years is a very, very good career, no matter what position you're playing in the NFL. Even if you're a quarterback, there are guys in the Hall of Fame who played for 12 years as a quarterback, had decent stats, and they make the Hall of Fame. Like Russell is in the back half of his career. Matty Ice is in the back half of his career. We're gonna see this drop off. Like we're not gonna be so lucky to have these guys who can play until they're late 30s, early 40s, and still be really fucking good. Those are rare. We've just been spoiled with them in abundance recently.
That's true. Well, either way, that game was a snooze fest. Anyone that watched on Amazon Prime probably should get a month free of Amazon Prime, like the memes have been saying going around. Like I truly feel it was a rough one to watch. God, just a disappointing game. But that can lead us into our game starting tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, so we have week 5 in the NFL, and we will start off with another London game. This one between the Giants and the Packers. Green Bay is favored -8 points with an over-under of 41. What are your thoughts, Mike?
So I kept thinking that the Packers were going to take a drop somewhere, right? They're obviously, we know their offense isn't very good, but they've been able to find a way to continue to just beat people. And normally I would say the Giants really aren't very fucking good. But the Giants are much better. The Packers offense still fucking stinks. I think the Giants could win this game. I'm not willing to go with that, but I am going to take the Giants plus the points because I think they definitely keep it within a touchdown.
All right. Some stats for you here, or some different things. If you're trying to bet, the over-under, like I said, over-under for this game is 41. In the Giants' last 29 games, the under is 22-5-2. In the last 15 Giants games, they only have gone over 41 points twice. So if you want to bet the under, this would be the way to do it in this game. The Packers have only scored 21 points away from Lambeau this year. And obviously this is kind of an away game for both teams. But it's an interesting situation being in kind of a neutral place over there in London. But yes, away from Lambeau, only scored 21 points this entire season, which is not good. That should be a bad game for a Packers team that people are used to seeing. All right. And in addition to that, the Packers have never played in London before. This is their first overseas game ever, so we don't know if they have personnel or people within their organization who have experienced this before and are able to help guide the team on how to adequately go overseas, get the correct rest and recuperation and all that stuff. So stuff that kind of needs to be thought about, played into this if you're thinking about placing some bets. For me, I'm the same way. I absolutely think that the Giants could win this game. I'm going to be taking the Giants plus the points. I think that this line right now is way too large. The Giants, they're better. They're not good, but they're better. They've been playing better teams competitively and keeping it very close, within a touchdown. To have this be a more than a touchdown spread right now is asinine to me when the Packers are not putting up points. Their offense does not look good. Their defense doesn't look great either. The teams that they've been playing, they just haven't been that good. They're 3-1, and I think it's kind of a false 3-1. Aaron Rodgers is getting his wins by not doing a whole lot.
You can only fucking beat the people that they put on your schedule, right? They don't pick their schedule.
That's true, and
they're winning.
Said about my Vikings to an extent. We have one of the easiest schedules this year, but we're not handily beating people right now. But I think in time, that'll come once the offense and things like that start to actually settle. It's only 4 weeks under play, but I digress. I don't think the Packers are that good. I think once they start playing more difficult opponents, we're going to see a lot more losses pop up on the board. And I do think that the Giants have a chance to actually take one in this game. Giants have a strong run game. I think
they have a chance to win it.
Giants have a strong run game. Daniel Jones is probably going to play despite having an ankle injury. Saquon has been running the ball great. And I really like what they've been doing right with that team.
Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
So I mean, he's playing great. They're playing much better. I think they could win. Am I willing to make that bet? No, I like Giants +8 for sure.
Yep. So for me, it is Giants +8, and if Mike would let me, I'd take the under on this one as well.
The under. Yes, he does.
Like warm, like winter jacket.
Yes.
Warm
They're doing something outside.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Producer Amber's making me do my other job and be dad and figure things out.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. I'm not no, because here's the thing. I'm gonna pull up the stats right now, because if we keep allowing extra bets, things are gonna get off kilter here. All right.
At the end of the year, we're just looking at a percentage, baby.
Yeah, I know. That's very true. Let's. Why is it? There it is. All right. So I cannot see, but come on. Zoom in. I don't. There we go. Jesus Christ. All right. So last week I had a pretty decent week. I went 10-6. I needed a bounce back week really fucking bad. Still not. There we go. How's that?
That works.
All right, much better. All right, yeah. So 6-10. I needed a big bounce back. I really thought the Jags, we're gonna win at one point. And then they just did not make it happen. Steelers, yeah, they fucking stink. Mitch Trubisky, we're gonna get to that a little bit once we talk about that game. But oh man, the Rams, they fucking stink too. Yeah, and so do the Browns. Browns fucking stink right now. It sucks. I'm so not looking forward to this week's game. But I 10-6. Evo, you 8-6-2. You had 2 pushes. I took your boys on the money line. I believed in them, but not quite as much as you did in the cover. They did not. There was a push. They beat them by exactly 3.
It took us a double doink to get that win.
Yeah.
But hey, we are encroaching closer and closer to a 50% win rate, which is not that bad.
No, not bad at all. And listen, we said after week 4, you start to kind of figure out who your teams are, what people are. I expect us to both kind of crush it this week. I don't know that there's that many difficult games to pick this week, especially with some of the spreads I've seen. I think that we got a couple of layups. So, but yeah, we are very close right now. I'm 30-33-1. You are 30-32-2.
So less losses.
Less loss. Yeah, exactly. We're just talking about a percentage at the end of the season, right?
Yeah. All right. So our next game, we got the Steelers and the Bills starting off our early morning games instead of just our early game in England. Yeah. We have Steelers and Bills being played at home for the Bills in Orchard Park, New York. The line is Buffalo -14, over under of 45.5. I'm not touching that sort of a fucking point spread.
Yeah, this is easy.
Not touching that sort of a point spread. They could absolutely win by that or more.
They should win by that, but they won't.
Not touching that point spread. But I do have Buffalo winning this game probably by, if I did an alternate spread by like 8 or something like that, would be the max that I would even consider. But over under a 45.5. And this is a Steelers team that no longer is going to be having Mitch Trubisky at the helm. Kenny Smallhands Pickett came in last week, immediately threw an interception, and then did all right after that.
But he did not a single one of his passes hit the fucking ground.
Absolutely.
What, 10 for 13, right?
Something like that.
I think it was 10 for 13 and 3 interceptions. So every single one of those passes was caught.
But it is going to be a Kenny Pickett led Steelers team, at least for the foreseeable future, if not from here on out. So there's a lot of instability coming with a rookie quarterback coming in, but there is definitely an argument to be made that he is a better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky. Having a full week under his belt of preparation, knowing that he's the starter, could be a good thing. And we did see some pickup from certain players like George Pickens. Obviously Pickett and Pickens probably have played a little bit more in training camp and practice and stuff with one another. And they had a pretty good rapport. Pickens kind of had his, I don't want to call it a breakout week, but easily his best stat line of his short career so far last week. So you can see a little bit more pickup there.
Yeah. George is pretty good. Pickett, I think, will be better than Trubisky was. They still can't block. And Najee is disappointing so far, I would say. I would put him. He's not a butt. He has been disappointing this year, especially if you have him as a fantasy guy. I guarantee that there are people who are not happy about having Najee fucking Harris. But none of that's going to matter in this game. I have to go Buffalo on the money line because 14's too many. I
think Josh Jacobs has a better career at the end of it all than Najee Harris. That's where I feel that he's going is a Josh Jacobs light. And Josh Jacobs is an average NFL running back now at best.
Yeah.
That's where I feel his career is going. I just don't see it.
None of it's going to matter. The Buffalo's fucking absolutely winning this game. There's not a doubt in my mind. I'm not taking them to cover 14. Buffalo money line. Easy.
Absolutely.
Slam dunk.
All right. Next game, Lions and Patriots being played in Foxborough. The line is New England -3 over under a 45.5.
The fucking Lions really let me down last week.
Hey, they are the best offense in the NFL.
I know. I didn't know. That fucking defense, though.
Despite not having Amon-Ra St. Brown out there or DeAndre Swift. Now, this week, they might have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They might. But it sounds like some of their other receivers are going to be out.
I hope he's back. I need him on fantasy because I need a fucking win like you would not believe. But
on the flip side, the Patriots also are having a little bit of a change at quarterback right now. We're seeing another rookie being trotted out there who kind of looks like Mac Jones.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of think that he's like Mac Jones. I posted on the Lineman Lounge Facebook page right after the game last week. I was like, is he maybe better than Mac Jones?
Listen,
Bailey Zappi didn't look bad.
Bailey played pretty good for the time that he was in there. Now Bailey had no chance of coming in making sure they were trying to get them to win the game last week. But Bailey's not terrible. I don't trust this fucking Patriots team at all. To do what I expect them to do though. Lions money line. I'm going Lions money line. Their offense is so good, and it doesn't make sense why their offense is good at all.
I'm going to take the Lions plus the points on this one, and I'm hedging that bet because we still don't know if Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be playing in this game or not. As of right now, he's still listed as questionable. He did practice on Friday. I am praying that he plays for my fantasy team, even though all my top 3 starting receivers were out last week, and I put up the most points in the league still. But
great.
My
team sucks.
But I really hope that he plays this week, and if he does, I think that will push the Lions over the top. I do think the Lions absolutely could go into Foxborough and win this game. Their defense has been atrocious. They are one of the most blitz-heavy defenses right now, and I do like the personnel that they have on their defense. It's not like they don't have talented guys out there. I don't really know how to read their defense right now. I feel like, and I don't want to say it's the coaching because I like their coaches. They are playing hyper aggressive, and I think that might be getting them into some spots. So I think that they'll probably start to make some adjustments here now that we're into week 5. Past week 4, they're going to be able to narrow down some of these issues and hopefully get it worked out where the defense can at least be top 20, top 25 or something like that. And that should be enough when your offense is clicking like their offense is to put you over the top. I got the Lions. I'm going to take the points on this one, though, just to make it a little bit easier on myself.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe I push again or something.
I'm just waiting for fucking this Dan Campbell team to start playing some fucking hard-nosed defense and to just put a team away. They have that fucking dog in them that that's all they want. That's all they need. They get one of those games where they just fucking throttle somebody and they look like that Dan Campbell coach team that everybody is really hoping to be a part of. Like, they're going to go, that team's going to skyrocket. I would love to see that happen this week against the Patriots. Man, I'm just going to I'm not giving the points up. I want more money. I want Dan Campbell to win me some fucking money this week.
Alrighty.
I was so disappointed last week, man.
It was that you had one great bet last week that kind of saved everything.
I did have a good bet last week that saved me on a same game parlay. I don't remember all the legs at this point though.
No, I could look it up, but I don't remember off the top of my head. All right, we'll go into our next game. We have the Seahawks and the Saints being played in New Orleans. The line is currently New Orleans -5, over under of 45.5. What do you got, Mike?
Go ahead. I'm trying to find this.
All right, so this is going to be an Andy Dalton-led team again for the Saints. We played them last week across the pond. And the Saints didn't do bad against us with Andy Dalton. But right now, and this is getting into my Vikings a little bit again, we have one of the lowest pressure rates in the NFL right now. We are not blitzing. We are not going after him. Andy Dalton had all day to sit back and pick apart things, even with Michael Thomas being out, even with his starting left guard being out. We just were not putting any sort of pressure on him. And I don't think that is the Andy Dalton that you should expect to see week in and week out. That being said, I do not like the Seahawks. I do not like their defense. I'm still kind of blown away that Geno Smith is playing as good as he is.
Playing pretty fucking well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that this should be as much of a spread in this game, honestly. I think I'm going to go Seahawks plus the points here. Because I like the Saints to win at home, but I don't think that this is going to be some sort of a blowout. The Saints are still nursing plenty of injuries. I'm not even sure if Kamara is going to be playing or anything like that. Not that it makes that big of a difference at this point. But the Seahawks, I don't expect them to win. I just think that they probably can cover the 5 points.
Yeah, five seems like such a lot because they are playing better. But so the Seahawks, I'm still not quite sure if they're going to just stick around and fuck people up like week in and week out. And they should not be able to drop that many points like any fucking time that they want. Like Geno's not that guy. Five's a lot.
Again, they put up 48 points, but it wasn't against the Lions.
Yeah.
They've been one of the worst defenses this year.
5 is so much. I feel for this. I got to take the points. I'm going Seattle in the points.
Same. All right. Next up, we have the Dolphins and the Jets being played in East Rutherford, New Jersey, not in Miami. But Miami is favored -3.5 points, over under a 45.5. Tua Tagovailoa is out for this game. He's still in the concussion protocol. And Teddy Bridgewater's started down there in Miami, backed up by our boy Skylar Thompson.
Man. Sorry, I keep getting notifications. Hey guys, if you did $20 just go live again? Or
He sure did.
All right, yeah, guys, if you want to check out $20 is $20 as well. You can go over to his Twitch. I'm sorry, yeah, because I was getting notifications. What the fuck game are we talking about again?
We were talking about the Dolphins and the
God
Jets.
damn it, yeah, Tua. I'm sorry. His Dave's fucking fantasy name is Tua legit to quit or some shit like that. So, I don't know. Teddy's gonna be average, like we always kind of expect Teddy to be.
You want some stats to help you out with this bet, Mike?
I want Skylar Thompson to play. Is what I fucking want to happen. But I don't want Teddy to get hurt. And that's the only way that's gonna happen, I think.
Yeah, probably. Well, I'll tell you this. Teddy is actually one of the safer bets when you are betting. Teddy Bridgewater is 24-6 or 24-6 against the spread on the road in his career. And Teddy is also 43-21 overall in his career against the spread. As a backup quarterback, he is 14-4. So when he is a backup on the depth chart, not the starting the season as the starter, and ends up coming in and having to play a game, not necessarily in the middle of the game, he's 14-4 against the spread. So Teddy, these stats are pretty goddamn good for Teddy. Again, the line for this is Miami minus 3.5. So this would tell you should be taking that Miami minus 3.5.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I am going to I'm going to do Miami minus 3.5. Also because the Jets stink. They've lost like 12 straight division games. So this is a division game. I'm going to take the points. Miami's going to figure it out. Teddy, I like the numbers to back up Teddy there to cover the 3.5.
Honestly, and you know Teddy's my guy. I've loved Teddy ever since Minnesota, so I like rooting for Teddy. I do want to see Skylar get out there and play, but I don't mind what Teddy did last week coming in for Tua. Thought he looked like a pretty consistent average quarterback that can run that offense and lead the team to a victory. And we've seen him do it around the league where he's not going to blow your socks off anymore. Not that he necessarily did before, except for, in my heart when he was a Viking. But I love Teddy. This Dolphins offense already was rolling pretty good, and I think that Teddy's arm is at least as good as what Tua's was. So I'm willing to take.
He looked like
Miami.
He threw the deep ball better in that last game. So,
so I'm willing to take Miami and Teddy minus the 3.5 points.
Yeah. Those numbers that you gave me for Teddy, it was also very nice. I like that. So, what is next?
Next up, we have the Falcons and the Buccaneers being played in Tampa, Florida. A big spread on this one. Tampa minus 10, over under of 46.5.
10's a lot. I'm not doing it. I don't think the Falcons are very good, and that makes me very sad for my Browns.
Cordero Patterson is on IR, so he is definitely not playing in this game. I believe it's going to be the short-term IR where he can return after 4 weeks, but I don't think he'll be back at that 4-week mark. That leaves the rookie Algier and another no-name guy there playing running back for him. Cordero was really kind of the lifeblood of that offense. Kyle Pitts also out for this game, so they're going to definitely be neutered a little bit on offense there. The 10 points is tough. I'm just going to take Tampa Bay money line on this one. I really want to take the Falcons plus the points, but I don't think that they have enough offensive firepower there to get it done. Then again, this could be a very low scoring game. The 46.5 over under is probably asking for a bit much. I would probably be leaning towards the under on this one because the Falcons offense doesn't seem like they're going to be able to put very much points. That Buccaneers offense being led by a completely emotionally broken Tom Brady, also not putting up a whole lot of points. So I'm just going to take the Buccaneers money line on this one, but yeah, that's too big of a spread for me. Even though if Cordero was playing and Pitts was playing, I probably would be taking Atlanta plus the points here. Just can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it either, man. 10's too many. Tampa's better. I don't think Atlanta's very good, and I hate my life. Fucking Browns.
All right. Next up, we have the Titans and the Commanders in a snooze fest in Landover, Maryland. The line is currently even, according to Caesars, with an over-under of 43. So, who you got winning this game, Mike?
It was Commanders and who?
Titans. And Traylon Burks is on the IR. That was like their receiving option, other than what's his nuts that just came over from the Rams in the offseason, who has been looking actually pretty good. Can't think of his name right now. Give me 1 second.
I got it. I beat you. I know what it is.
Okay, go for it.
Robert Woods.
All right. Yeah, but Robert Woods has been looking pretty good for them recently. and they have Derrick Henry and the Washington Commanders not looking fantastic. I don't know how else to put it.
I
This
don't-
Wednesday team, they are playing at home, but that's why the line is even on this one. It is kind of a toss up. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Titans money line.
We have to, yeah. Pick money line. It's all the fucking same. So, I'm doing this. I don't. Yeah, the Commanders aren't good. Neither's fucking Tennessee though. But it makes more sense.
It makes more sense in my heart not to pick Carson
Yeah,
Wentz when you have an
exactly.
even line like this. So sounds like both of us there are on the Titans to win this game outright. All right, next game, Texans and Jaguars being played in Jacksonville. The current line is Jacksonville -7, over under of 43.5.
In what world do we live where Jacksonville is the fucking favorite by a touchdown at any point in your life?
Maybe back when Bortles, RIP, he retired.
Yeah.
When Blake Bortles was leading that team and they had just an outstanding fucking defense and Leonard Fournette at running back, and they made a playoff push that year. That was the year that it was Blake Bortles and Case Keenum and Nick Foles.
A bunch of
Tom
assholes
Brady.
that had never won, and then
And Tom Brady,
Yeah.
as your last four quarterbacks in the playoffs. A real interesting year, but this Jaguars team, they got something going. I mean, they are looking a lot better. -7 is
points.
They're playing the Texans, who are dog shit.
That's true.
They're absolute
really
dog
fucking
shit.
bad.
Like, this would be the toilet bowl last year, but it ain't last year.
But
This year.
When I hear you say, who you got? Jags -7. My initial gut reaction says, not fucking that. Like, Jaguars -7. I don't think I'm not ready to accept a line like that, let alone bet it.
But I am willing to take the Jaguars money line.
Yes, I'm willing to take the Jags money line, but Jags -7's fucking asinine. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I could see it happening. I actually could.
I could too. I could see it happening as well, but fucking Jags almost did it for me last week.
I think
Covering
Jags,
the 6.5.
I think Jags -11 could happen. And I want to take Jags -7, but I'm just going to take the Jags money line. Let them prove it to me one more week.
All right, Jags money line for both. Jaguars -7. Out of here.
All right. Next up, we're going into our afternoon games on Sunday. We have the 49ers and the Panthers being played in Charlotte. Panthers have looked like absolute dog dick. Baker Mayfield not playing well. He's 64 for 117 and 747 yards, only 4 touchdowns on the year. The line on this is San Francisco -6.5, over under of 39.5. So they're expecting San Francisco to put up a majority of the points in this game with such a low over under. I'm definitely taking the 49ers on this one.
Yes.
6.5 does kind of make sense to me.
Yes.
I could see them putting that up for sure. But again, I'm going to take a little bit safer here because that 0.5 kind of has me a little bit weirded out. I'm just going to take San Francisco money line on this one.
So this is one where I am going to step out a little bit. Carolina's fucking really not very good at football. Chris McCaffrey on the injury report this week or not? Or did they finally take him off? Because he was banged up.
He's been on the injury report, I think, like every week.
Yeah. So they're not
it seems like a running joke at this point, just to scare fantasy managers and Carolina fans, where it's like, oh, he's got a hangnail, put him on the injury report, and scare these fucking people. But no, I don't think I think he's on the injury report. I don't think it's anything noteworthy.
Yeah. Okay. So, but they're just not good, and San Francisco's far better. Jimmy played a really good game last game after making some egregious mistakes the week before. I'm going to take San Francisco to cover the 6.5. I think they are that good. That defense is really fucking good. And Carolina stinks. Baker, Sorry, bro. I wanted you to succeed. It's just not fucking working. It is not working at all.
Not happening. All right, our next game, Cowboys and the Rams. This is being played in California. Los Angeles Rams are favored minus 5.5 points, over under a 42. Couple quick pointers for this game. Sean McVay, he is 19-8 straight up coming off of a loss.
Ooh.
So 19-8 straight up off of a loss, which that is the best number in football since 2017. He's also 15-9-1 against the spread following a loss. So he is definitely favored in these games following a loss. They had that loss last week. The Rams have also won and covered 5 straight games when they are on short rest. They are technically on short rest coming off of that Monday night game. What do you got in this one, Mike?
The Rams. I mean, I still, it's a really cool story what's going on with the quarterback situation in Dallas. That Cooper Rush is, kind of making a name for himself, but I still don't think that they've proven that they're going to do this consistently. I love the story, but I can't pick them. I know Sean McVay. Sean McVay is a great coach. You just gave me fantastic numbers about him coming off of a loss, and I like winning money, so it's easy. Rams money line.
I'm going to take the Cowboys plus the points here.
Okay, we're getting a little different.
Yep, I'm feeling a little frisky with it. The Cowboys have been doing pretty goddamn well with Cooper Rush. The Rams have not looked as good as they should. And even though they are playing at home and the stats I was giving out, it's not a solid thing. He does have losses coming off of other losses. It's just very rare. I don't think that this is the normal Rams team. I still think that they're missing their boys, Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips, my Vikings. I'm just going to take the Cowboys plus the points because we need a little bit of a shake. They are missing Andrew Whitworth. That is not helping. But yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Cowboys plus the points in this one.
Okay.
Feeling Cowboys a little frisky with it.
Rams money line. That's what I got.
All righty. Next up, we have the Eagles and the Cardinals. This game is being played Glendale, Arizona. Philly minus 5.5 points, over under of 49. Expected to be a bit of a high scoring game. As far as I know, there is no Call of Duty news.
I was just about to bring up $20. We got to find out if there's a double XP weekend.
New Call of Duty game comes out towards the end of October, so we're good for a little bit.
Got another week or two. Got it.
Absolutely. Some other little stat things here. Cliff Kingsbury is 29-2 against the spread as an underdog. He is also 12-3 against the spread in the month of October through his NFL career. So he has strong Octobers for his team. That is usually, like I said, after week 4, getting into week 5, that's when teams start to actually kind of kick into stride and figure things out. Seems a little bit different, though, normally for the Cardinals. It normally seems like they have a really good start to the year and then fall off towards the end. He's also Cliff Kingsbury is also 9-17 against the spread when playing at home. So that's a contradictory little numbers game for you there. I like the Eagles in this one. I don't like the Cardinals that much this year. Again, they have like the worst secondary in all of football. And Jalen Hurts has been balling. They've got several talented receivers out there in Philly.
Yes.
Even though this is a home game for the Cardinals, I'm going to take the Eagles minus the points on this one.
Okay, going. Yeah, I got it. Man,
I want to take the Eagles money line because that's the easy bet.
Yeah,
but
I want the better odds there. I want the better odds, so I'm gonna hop on the same thing. Philly can beat them by a touchdown, 5.5. Yeah, I can do that. I'm Philly minus 5.5. Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. Next up, our Sunday night game. This is the Bengals and the Ravens being played in Baltimore. The line is Baltimore minus 3.5, over under of 47.5. Some stats for this game. In the last 50 primetime games, 50 in the NFL, not for one team or the other, the under is 33-17. So if you're wanting to bet the over under, that's a little stat for you. In addition to that, the under has hit in 9 straight Bengals games. So Bengals have been a little bit underperforming, and primetime games have generally been underperforming as far as the over-under. That really has nothing to do with our regular line, though, of Baltimore minus 3.5. Who you got in this game, Mike?
I don't know that Baltimore is very good. Their secondary is really fucking bad. They've made some egregious errors. Lamar Jackson is balling out of his mind, but I think that their defense is going to really hurt them against a Bengals offense that should be able to get going. And I think they're going to start hitting their stride. I'm going to do my little underdog pick here. I'm going Bengals straight on the money line. I think they win this game.
All right. I'm actually going to take Baltimore on the money line in this one. I do think that they could win this game. I think it could be a little bit closer to that field goal range. That's why the minus 3.5 kicker for me isn't going to do it. But the Bengals just haven't been performing as well as they should. We really haven't seen that click between Burrow and Jamar Chase like we're hoping to see. You're seeing a little bit more with Higgins. Higgins is getting in the mix a little bit more, but we're still not seeing that offense click. The offensive line for the Bengals still looks like garbage. And arguably Lamar Jackson is having an MVP caliber season right now. So I think that Lamar Jackson in prime time, he's going to be able to put the team on his shoulders and get a win at home.
So we got one Cincy, one Baltimore on the money line. I like my odds better than yours, but I also like my pick better than yours.
Fair enough. All right, our Monday night game, we have the Raiders and the Chiefs, big rivalry game here being played in Kansas City. The line is currently Kansas City -7 with an over-under of 51.5. Pretty high. Who you got in this one, Mike?
I think that Kansas City is really fucking good at football. I think Las Vegas has a really good bunch of guys that don't know how to play football together at all. I don't think that 7 points is enough, but I am always afraid to take Kansas City on a cover. But that's what I'm going to do. I think they're far better than this Vegas team is, who just has not figured it out yet. I'm taking Kansas City on the cover -7.
I'm going to be taking Kansas City money line on this one because I like you mentioned, we don't like taking Kansas City on the cover here. They seem to struggle with that. It's difficult for them for whatever reason. I do like Kansas City to win this game. The Raiders, and I think more so than anything, Derek Carr is a good quarterback, but he is just not jiving with this offense right now.
Guys are meshing, man. Yeah,
the guys that he's performed well with in previous years, in Waller and Renfro, he's not. And that to me is a schematic thing that has to be worked out between him and McDaniels. And maybe it is the right time for Derek Carr to go somewhere else and try to rejuvenate his career under a different offense.
I think it would be really cool if Mike McDaniels didn't bring that same shitty offense everywhere he went, because it hasn't fucking worked really at all, other than at New England.
Mike McDaniels, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins?
No.
Josh McDaniels.
God damn it, yeah. I was like, what? Fuck.
No, I got what you're saying. I knew what you're saying. No, I think McDaniels, his offense is not working out well there for whatever reason. Maybe it's because that Patriot offense that he's always kind of run has been slow, steady, wins the race, and you don't have weapons, and that's why you have to do it. But you've got a lot of firepower in this offense, and it just doesn't jive as well. I don't know. You think that they would be able to perform and just kind of
they have so many fucking guys on that team that are really good, and then they're just not performing. I don't know. What did you ask me?
Nothing. Okay, we're good. All right, we can jump back in time here real quick, and we will go to our 10 a.m. game between the Bears and the Vikings being played at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The line is currently now Minnesota -7.5. Earlier in the day was Minnesota -7, an over-under of 44. So real quick for me, the Vikings, I was disappointed last week that we only got by with a double doink. Our offense is still putting up good points. The offensive line is still performing all right. The running game is performing all right. Like, you don't notice it. We're seeing out of Kirk Cousins, and I think this is the issue, and I'm not trying to bag on Kirk, but he has not fully grasped this offense yet, specifically the reads. He's making some bad decisions. His accuracy is suffering because of it, and we're seeing some uncharacteristic drops from guys like Thielen and, more importantly, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson had a touchdown last week that he dropped. It was a ball thrown behind him. He should have had it, but we can put a majority of that on Kirk for throwing the ball behind him. The offense still is putting up a lot of points for the Vikings. It's the defense that's really hurting us. And like I brought up earlier, our pass rush is just not getting to the quarterback. We aren't blitzing very much at all. I think that it's smart for us in this game, especially against Justin Fields, who I like Justin Fields, but he is just so god awful right now. That offense is they're throwing like less than 10 passes a game. They don't have much as far as receiving options. Their offensive line is atrocious.
But they're running the ball really well somehow.
Their offensive line is good in run blocking. They're atrocious in pass blocking.
Well,
Justin Fields is under pressure all the time. He's got the longest time to throw, and it's because he's having to scramble all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't have the receiving options out there that'll be able to get open. If we want to get on the train of getting pressures and rushing the quarterback with an extra rusher and blitzing someone, this is the game to absolutely do it. Because our defense, we don't have the cornerback support to lock guys down without that sort of pressure. If we start getting the pressure and start getting Danielle Hunter involved, we'll be able to rattle Justin Fields, and that won't be a problem. And then as far as the defense, I've got no issues going up against that Bears defense. I'm not really scared about them at all. They have some of the worst rated interior defensive linemen right now in all of football. Robert Quinn is not who he used to be. They don't have anyone else rushing on the other side since Khalil Mack is gone. Their cornerbacks have just been abysmal. The only good position group that you could say on that defense is maybe their safeties, and that's a stretch. So for me in this one, I absolutely think the Vikings will win by more than 7.5. My caveat is I'm going to be taking the Vikings money line on this one.
I got to do the same, I think.
Like your Brownies, I feel like we are playing down to our opponent to an extent. I feel more so that way with your Browns. I don't feel like we're playing down to our opponent. I feel like we are just not playing our game of ball right now. The offense has so much potential, but it's not completely clicking, and that revolves around the quarterback more than anything. Once Kirk figures that out, figures his progression and his reads correctly and stops making those errors, I think that'll allow the offense to get out ahead a lot more, and that's going to allow the defense to go out and hunt. And they'll look more successful because of it. And I'm not scared at all by this Bears offense. So that I'm going to take the Vikings money line. It's a safety pick this week. I normally would be saying that this is a trap game, but I do think this is a different Vikings team than normal. So I do have the Vikings winning this one money line.
Yeah, so I got you guys as well. I think that you guys could probably cover this.
The number 2 seed in the NFC Vikings right now, by the way.
Yay.
That says something about the Vikings and the NFC.
Yeah.
NFC more than anything.
I actually think, my fucking Cleveland Browns are still in first place somehow. But yeah, you guys are way better than the Bears. You guys probably should cover. You won't. Got to take you guys on the money line. That's the only that it makes sense to me. So I can't.
I'd really love to see us finally, like I said, put things together this week. Even though we are playing a relatively weak opponent in the Bears,
right?
I could see this being a 14-point plus win. If we get things to click correctly, and we need that going into next week versus Miami, and then a bye week after that. One point of note, and I didn't put this down in my stats for games and stuff like that, but teams coming back from Europe typically get a bye. No team coming back from Europe that didn't have a bye has ever covered. So most of the time they lose. So it is something of note that if the Vikings were to actually, I believe it's not even the cover. I think it's a win. I think no team coming back from Europe and playing immediately the week after has ever won because the Vikings have the chance to be the first team to do that. So I don't know. maybe history's against us, but
I'm not. I'm still taking you guys. I'm still taking you on the money line. You're better. You're a better team.
Same. All right, and then we can move on to our last game, also in the past, future, whatever we want to call it. We have the Chargers and the Browns being played in Cleveland. Like you said, you're going to be at the game tomorrow, so that should be a fun one. It looks like, according to AccuWeather, it's going to be a little bit drizzly and 60 degrees.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be cold as fuck. Is what's gonna
Bring
happen.
a rain jacket and maybe some thermal insulated socks.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be fun when I'm working the game. What's not going to be fun is listening to all the drunk assholes who are going around bitching that we're getting our asses beat by a team that's better than us. Like,
yeah. Now, the line for this one is Chargers -1.5 with an over under of 46.5. I don't know if I threw that bit out there yet.
I did not, but so we had I think the easiest first 4 games in the NFL. Had to go and get 4 wins there. And then now we come back from that. We're 2-2. We have underachieved. We have had massive lapses in defensive performance late in games, blown coverages, just complete inability to fucking tackle a running back because we lost the game last week where they only completed 7 fucking passes. The Browns aren't that good right now. We have major errors and it stinks. Like, I'm not blaming Jacoby. I blame a lot of what has happened, why we're not better on the defense, but we're going to have one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL come in and now we're going to beat his ass.
Watson?
Yeah. No,
not your guy.
I have not. The only time I was at a loss, I was in the Rich People Club. So I'm hoping that I will not have to experience a loss tomorrow, but I, in good conscience, cannot pick my boys. The Chargers are better. Chargers on the money line.
I'll be taking the Chargers -1.5 points on this one. You guys do tend to play these games relatively close. Like all your games, it seems like you play relatively close. You hang in with the good guys and the bad guys. But 1.5, that's still a slim enough margin that I think the Chargers can't cover that. Keep in mind, Bosa is out. Keenan Allen also out for this game again. He's only played, I believe, 1 week so far, so that's pretty rough for the Chargers. I believe Josh Palmer, backup wide receiver, is questionable at this point, so they are hurting a little bit. Starting left tackle for the Chargers out for the year, so the team is beat up. Your Browns team does have a lot of talent out there. Amari Cooper is starting to look decent, but yeah, I'm going to be taking the Chargers minus the points on this one.
All right. I fucking hate you for that. That was super funny.
Yeah. Mike's having a good time, guys.
Yes,
he has had a rough
It's been a long day, all right? Is that all of our fucking games?
That is all of our games, Mike.
Okay. All right, good. We were able to bust that in 1 hour. Perfect. I don't think I can make it too much longer.
Probably not. I'm seeing a lot of yawning over there, and them eyes are
so fucking tired. Oh, my eyes are very red.
Why?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching the Lineman Lounge today. I know this was a later episode. We've kind of been jumping around with our times, but we're trying to fit it in with our schedules and having a personal social lives and things like that. But thank you all for tuning in. If you did, thank you for the comments. Please make sure to go onto the YouTube page, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helps us out a lot. We are getting very damn close to having that 100 subscribers, which will give us our own URL and make it easier for us to get the content out. Yeah. And we also are on all sorts of other social media. You can check out our Facebook pages, groups. Mike does a TikTok where he shows his feet off every now and then, including possibly an OnlyFans in the future.
There we go.
Do we have an Instagram?
Yeah, we do have an Instagram. We absolutely do.
Yeah.
I don't hardly post shit to it though.
Yeah. Again, that's where you can probably see pictures of Mike's feet or him in a Cleveland Browns stretch bikini. There's also the Twitter. Mike is absolutely handling the Twitter. It's just a little bit too toxic for me over there, which is
I'm very active on. I was toxic yesterday. I I tossed her phone number up there at one point because some guy who's I was talking shit with on the Twitter machine said our show sucked, and then he said that he also never listened to it. So I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah.
I was hoping that maybe because I sent him the link. I was like, maybe he'll call in, and then we could bury this guy for just a minute, and then we'll hang up on him. But
oh well, I'd have to let you handle that whole thing.
I love Twitter, man. It's so much fun. You're the meme guy, so you handle the majority of stuff on the Facebook. I
try. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Safe betting tomorrow. If you decide to do any sort of bets, bet responsibly. As always, Mike, bet responsibly.
I will absolutely do that because I can't.
I think
bet,
you
I live in
are
Ohio.
like 1 of 10 this year on bets that you have told me to bet.
It's not good. But thank God I've been betting small. I know I won. Well, the same game parlay was nice to hit. And I hit the Browns for $50. I have not hit many wins yet, though. It's not good. But I'm only in for 200, so.
Yep.
So far.
All right. But thank you all. For Mike, I'm Evo. You've been watching the Lineman Lounge.
Guys.
Have a good weekend. See you.
See you.
Welcome to the Lineman Lounge, hosted by Mike and Evo, calling their shots and being outlandish.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. Jesus, fuck my ass.
Get ready for the thickest podcast in the game. Coming to you from Hangar 6, where sleeves are optional. Strap